Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Steady with me. Hope you all guys have started your preparation for APFC. And I think before getting into planning and preparing strategies for the examination, it is better to have an analysis over the previous year question paper because it would provide you an insight on what sort of questions have been asked so far and what kind of questions could be expected in the upcoming examination. So I have just started preparing this this notes on the previous year question paper, though I earlier had a glance, but this time I had prepared a proper notes on a previous year questions, which I would like to share with you guys. So please have a look over it, and if you like it, just click on the like button and subscribe with the people who are preparing for this examination, so it would help them as well. So earlier we had this examination in 2004, 2012 and 2015. So what I've analyzed is that uh, in the previous examination the portion was more static, and later on it has become more dynamic. So let's look onto the question so you will get a better knowledge over it. So let's go on to English first. So in 2004 the questions were mostly focused on the proper sequence of sentences. So there were a jumbled sentence given, and you need to grammatically make into a correct sentence. There were total 5 questions asked in this. Next, the ordering of words. So different words would be given in a jumbled status, and you are supposed to make into a correct sentence. So this had 6 questions. Then the comprehension was given, and the questions from the comprehensions were provided, and you need to find out the answers. So there was one passage given and 5 questions are asked. Then we have antonyms and synonyms. Antonyms were 5 questions and synonyms were 5, and there were certain questions on assertion and reason. Some questions with respect to assertion and reasons were also related to our GS. Next, moving on to 2012, there were questions more on comprehension. That is, 2 passages were given and 8 questions were asked. Then we had the synonyms and antonyms. Okay. Then going on to 2015, the focus was on idioms, and idioms were 4 questions and synonyms were 4. And there was a question where a particular word is supposed to be inserted in the statement, and which changes the meaning of the statement. So you need to properly insert that statement, and the different choices are given according to which you need to mark the correct answer. Then there was a question on arranging a sentence which are jumbled into a correct grammatical form. Okay, so more or less the English was same. Comprehensions, antonyms, synonyms, and the idioms have been added from 2015. So more or less the same. Moving on to current affairs. Current affairs in 2004 was mostly of static in nature, as I told you, because there was more focus on GK things like see this one, the institution and locations. Different institutions were given, and these are the match the following things where you need to match the locations of these institutions. Then we have the beaches and states, railway zones and headquarters, UNESCO National Park, and there was this Bharat Ratna recipient person, and this was something which actually shocked me, like books and authors. It seems like how can we remember these authors and the books names of the people who are outside India. Mostly we are focused in learning about the books uh, of our freedom fighters or someone very well known in the country, but here we have people from the other country as well. However, this was the case with respect to 2004, And later in 2012, the static part was reduced. We have mostly a dynamic thing, like questions like, see here, why do we import coal? And this was very basic question. We could easily answer this. And this there was this CASA 1000 funded by World Bank pertains to which one? This is actually related to 2011-12 year question. So this was on news since we had this question. And this Janani Suraksha Yojana objectives were given like Kyoto Protocol. This was very basic. And this was related to awards. And this was another static question like persons and company name and book and author. Here the author name was supposed to be answered. These were the questions like this was a book of Rahul Dravid, Timeless Steel, and we are supposed to write who is the author of this book. And this was also the massive following thing. Next, sorry. Next was why was this Justice Dalveer Bhandari was in news. This was a news related question. And we had this head and institutions and the head of the institutions and names like who is the secretary, who is the chairman of some of the important institutions. And the most important question which I have seen in different years of question paper is that the committee and heads. This was very important. And this was something which was I felt very randomly asked. Rupee symbol is based on like Dravidian script or a Roman or something like that. And there were many questions related to this yojanas like aim of MG Narega, Awas Yojana, that is PM Awas Yojana, like aim of midday meal. And this was related to human development index, like which state has the highest human development index. And this one is important, chairman and its committee. And the other mission, national rural livelihood mission objective. And there were mostly questions on the schemes. And coming on to 2015, we had some questions related to science and technology. I think these three, that is what does the nanotechnology means, statements related to GPS, and like 2G, 3G. On this we had questions. Later on, I think this one is related to news question, CER and project location. See, as I've told you, the committee plays a important role in this questions, like what is the use and what is the responsibility of Malimat committee. And this was about use and like Know Your India program. And there was a question related to All India Radio. And then this was something very typical, like it asked for the features of national telecom policy. And next question was Millennium Development Goal of UN. There are 8 goals, and it asked which one of the goal is related to this one. And we had Bharat Ratna recipient, and who is the author of the problem of rupee. Okay, this is related to current affairs, so it moved on from static to dynamic, and more focuses on different yojanas and the committees. Okay, and the books and authors. So later on, I think in 2015, the books and authors was totally focused on to Indian writers. Next, we have questions with respect to international relations in 2004. However, these were more static. That's why I've put them particularly in international relations. There was some international news on which we had a question, and then it asked about the voting rights in UN General Assembly and UNSC. In the later on questions, there was nothing so much typical or deep into the questions of international relations. It was mostly news related. Okay, next, moving on to polity. Polity is more or less easy when we compare it with the CSE prelims. So something which is very basic, which we could answer easily, but however I found it a little more difficult in 2015. So in 2004 we had mostly static, which was related to Lokpal and Lokayukta, money bill, it was something related to vote on credit, and who leaves the annual financial statement before the house. One question was related to Delhi government, like who appoints the Delhi CM, is that president or governor. Uh, Next is the state legislative assembly membership. We had a question with respect to special marriage act, like what are the religions which are included in the special marriage act. Then we had a question on amendment procedure, and next one is when do we have this extension for Lok Sabha, and for how long. And one question was related to the Indian Parliament, like whether it is sovereign or not, and if not, why it isn't so. And then we had in 2012, with respect to high courts, DPSPs, with respect to federation, and this is also a DPSP question, like where do we have this provision for workers' participation in the management, um, constitutional bodies, the seventh schedule, electoral college of president election. So next we have a question with respect to election commission, qualification of a prime minister, though there are no qualifications. And next something related to commission and the members, that is who headed this commission. Second, ADR, Administrative Reforms Commission, Central and State Relation Commission, Finance Commission, Commission with respect to review of working of a constitution. Then this was something typical, like certain names were given, and it was asked like which position or which kind of work these people have done so far. So those were the names of the person who have been the pro tem speaker earlier. This was a question, and the purpose of adjournment motion, CAG, and then what are the limitations of Indian Parliament. Next, the questions in 2015 are with respect to Prime Minister. What is the basic premise of the constitution, lawmaking power of the parliament, role of finance commission. This was a typical one. Position of Radha Krishna, that is our vice president before he became a vice president, number of states and duties, and this is related to PAC, Public Account Committee. So nonetheless, the questions were relatively easier when we compare it to CSE prelim, so this could be easily addressable. Coming to modern history, in 2004 paper, we could consider it as a little static and easy, but however later on it became more dynamic and little more difficult. Like here in 2004 you can see it has asked about the Portuguese settlement, Battle of Monte Cassino, like where is this place, and the governor generals and their importance, like who abolished sati, and who constructed this Fort Williams, and Mountbatten Plan, reasons for Swaraj Party formation, Rowlatt Act, who started this Ganesh Chaturthi and Shivaji festival. Pretty easy, right? Next in 2012, it has asked for first modern industries in India. Reason for British survey in 19th century. It asked for chronological order of the movements. Next in 2015, we had certain difficult questions. Not very difficult, but yeah, moderate questions compared to the previous year questions. This is a little like decline in export, chronological order of decline in export of Indian cotton boom in India, and the civil war in America. Next, the first industries established in India, aspects of Gandhi Edwin Pact, and where was the Khilafat committee meeting held? Okay, these were the questions. And unlike EPFO, this APFC have asked many questions in medieval history, like location of a holy shrine of Imam Ali, chronological order of different Bhakti saints, different persons' writings like Ashogosha, Nagarjuna, Patanjali, Ramanuja. So these persons and writings were asked, and Indian kings' names were given, and we need to match with the dynasties. This historical sites and state is also match for match the following, and we have battle name and the contenders who defended the Chittor fort when Akbar besieged it, chronological sequence of dynasties, and the Delhi Sultanate. Okay. Next, in 2012, term used to, and like they have asked that which term has been used to spread Buddhism from India to Southeast Asia. And next, a common feature between Mughal and Ottoman Empire. Uh, this is the question which asks for the meaning for primogeniture, and we had this one like what is the useful evidence for research about agrarian history of 16th and 17th century. Next, we had this chronological order of first battle of Panipat. This was in 2015. Vietnam War, French Revolution, First Gulf War, World War One. Then question was related to antiques, Stridhan, and also feature of 6th century BCE, Ghanas and Sanghas. This was related to medieval history. Then moving on to culture and heritage. So culture and heritage, there was numerous questions, but like questions like question asking what is the meaning of the heritage, and questions were also related to heritage sites as well. Next, in world history, these were very typical questions in 2004. However, they were not repeated later on, like who was a British Prime Minister during World War II, who was a US President when atom bomb were dropped. I felt being a UPSC aspirant, like mm, we are preparing for IAS and IPS, we don't read so much static, and I felt it difficult when compared to this films level, because there we learn things which are very logical, or not very dynamic things, or not very static, like we don't read about years or particular names unless and until it is very important. But here the things are pretty different. And then we have this geography, world geography, chemistry, computer, biology, physics, maths, and so much economy, insurance, population, labor laws, industrial relation, and sports. So we would speak about this, I think, tomorrow. Okay. If you have any queries, just leave a comment, and if you like the video, please subscribe it and like it and share it with your friends. Okay.